to speak on the contribution of athletes from Northeast India in Olympics. Yes, as already, I think if I go to the history of Indian athletes first, then jump over to the Northeast athletes who had taken part in the various Olympics. So as you all know, the Olympic, it was started, the Pulsar has said, and also Kamlesh Sir also has already said, how ancient Olympic it was started sometimes back in this 776 BC in Olympia. And as you see in the Olympic, uh, ancient Olympic, there is not much in the ancient Olympic, but the modern Olympic, who is the father of the founder Olympic, as you all know, already have spoken regarding about the Marie Coubertin, who had the French noble person, who actually uh, the the inventor of this modern Olympic. The modern Olympic, 1896, and now 2021. It's almost more than 120 years now, the Olympic happening. But however, if you see the performance of the Indians, if you see the performance of the Indian in the Olympics, sometimes back in the year of and the pre-independent period, as you all know, the pre-independent period, we are independent only in the 1947. Before that, it was the British who had ruled the India for many years. So during this British India, the India also took part in the Olympic. In the first Olympic, it was took part. It was in the 1900 in the Paris Olympic, where the one white athlete from the British had took part, and he begged two medals for us. The normal picture, everyone knows. He took part in the 200-meter sprint, and thereafter 200-meter hurdle during those days. He begged two silver medals. And thereafter, for the first time, India had sent a team uh, uh, yeah, consist of the hockey in the year of 1928 in the Amsterdam Olympic. That was the first Olympic. I think probably the full contingent, at least one full contingent of the Indian hockey team was sent. And in the very beginning of that Olympic, the India bagged gold medal. And as you all know, so far India had won 28 medals in the Olympics since then. I'm talking about 1900 taken part by these white men, and thereafter 1928 onwards till the last Rio Olympic, we have won 28 medals. Out of these 28 medals, nine of nine of them have been in the form of gold medal. And believe it or not, out of this 9 gold medal, it is the 8 gold medal in the hockey. And about 6 to 7, I think probably we have won medal in the silver medal, and thereafter all are in the form of bronze medal. And the first Indian, I'm talking about the Indian athletes. Uh, Thereafter, it is not going. This is the modern Olympic. This is the Indian athletes. The Indian athletes were taken part, as I said, in 1900 first, and thereafter 1928, the Indian hockey team had gone. So if you go the history of the thereafter in the pre-independent, it is 1928 and 1936. During this period, uh, the pre-independent, as I said, the Norman pitcher who had taken a part in the 200-meter race and also 200-meter hurdle, he begged silver medal in both the event. And thereafter, uh, as you see, in 1928 to 36, the man hockey team, every time they had taken part in these three Olympics, they have won the gold medal. And it continued up to 1950 independent, as I said. In the 1900 Paris Norman Pitcher, he had obtained two silver medal. In Amsterdam, the man hockey team had gone. There also they got a gold. And 32 again gold, and 36 again gold. In 1940, because of the Second World War, the Olympic could not take place. And thereafter also in 1944, no team was sent because that year also the Olympic was not happening because of the World War. In 1948 to 2016 Olympic, in the last Rio Olympic, if you see there, the first, I think, probably post-independent, and it was the, I think, the field hockey, which is dominated, as I said, they have obtained 8 gold medals, I think one silver and one and 2 bronze medals. That was the, I think, Indian records. And in the Helsinki Games, 1952, as you saw, the KD Yadav, he is the, I think, first, I think, probably Indian who had taken part in the Olympic in 1952. Individual medal was obtained for the first time in the form of bronze medal. Then thereafter, it was the, I think, Lander Pius who had obtained the medal in the Atlanta in 1984, I think, probably Olympic. He's the, I think, probably the second, I think, individual medal obtained in tennis. And thereafter, Karnam Maleshwari became the first woman to win a medal for us, bronze medal in the weightlifting in 2000 Olympic happening in Sydney. At 2012, for the first time, 2012, I think India had won maximum medal, I think probably there are 6 medals. And prior to that, if you see here all the post-independent, the medal tally that we have, as I said, it was the hockey which was mainly dominated till up to say 1980 Moscow, which was the last, I think, gold medal that we obtained in the field hockey. And as you all know, in 1980, the US and their allied all countries were uh, debarred from taking part in the 1980 Moscow. And that was the last, I think, Olympic where I think the Indian hockey team, the field hockey team, had bagged medal. And as I said, the Lander Pius, it was not 1996 Atlanta Olympic. He is the first, I think, probably individual after Mr. Jadhav, who had obtained medal in 1952. He is the one, I think, probably, and brought laurel for the country on that year in tennis. And thereafter, you see every Olympics, India had not come empty-handed. At least they got at least one or two, or maximum of the 6 medals they had obtained. Then Sydney Olympic, as I said, Karlam Maleshwari, she is the first woman to beg medal for us in weightlifting. And 204 in Athens Games, it was the first, I think, probably Rajyavardhan Rathore, who was also former sports minister of India. He had bagged, I think, medal in silver in double track shooting. And thereafter, it was in 2008 Beijing Olympic where we got 3 medals. It was in Abhinav Bindra who had first, I think, probably obtained the individual gold medal for the country in 10-meter air shooting, air rifle shooting. He made us proud. I think probably after the Abhinav Bindra had obtained his shooting in a gold medal in Beijing Olympic, thereafter the shooting sports has been promoted a lot in the whole country. Today, you see the shooting is almost dominating in every international event, including the World Cup. And thereafter in shooting, if you go through the next to next Olympics, every Olympics except the last Rio Olympics, they have obtained a medal there too. In Beijing Olympic, Avinav Bindra, then the Vijendra Singh is the first, I think, boxer had won medal in Olympic for us in the form of bronze. And Sushil Kumar, the only, I think, probably athlete so far from India in consecutively in two Olympics, he had obtained the medal. It is the Sushil Kumar and Dara, and the next in the London Olympic also, he obtained the silver medal. He's the only wrestler, I think, probably, and also the athlete from India. He had obtained the two Olympic medals for us. Uh, as I said, in London Olympics was the, I think, probably the Olympics that India had performed so far the highest achievement. Six medals have been obtained, and we are proud to say that in that particular Olympic, the magnificent Mary Kom, who represented the India in boxing, and for the first time, the boxing discipline was included in that particular Olympic, and she obtained a bronze medal, and I think made us proud. She was the, I think, lone medalist so far from the Northeast. And as I said, Sushil Kumar bagged the silver medal. Sania Nehwal in the badminton, she obtained the bronze medal, and I think probably in the bronze medal playout, probably her opponent was withdrawn. I think if you go through the history, but however, the medal counts, and they were lucky enough that she brought the bronze medal for us on and that particular Olympic. The Gagan Narang, a prominent and outstanding shooter from India. He also, I think, 2006 in Commonwealth Games happening in Melbourne, where I was also there. He was chosen as the best athlete in that particular, where he obtained multiple medals in shooting. This Gagan Narang had created a history by bringing a medal in shooting in that particular the London Olympics. Then Jugeshwar Dutt, another third, I think, probably the wrestler, they were obtained the medal after the K.D. Yadav, then Sushil Kumar, and the Jogeshwar Dutt. And so he also obtained the bronze medal in that particular uh, Olympics in London. Rio, as you all know, it was a setback. We had a very strong contingent, and I happened to be there in the Rio. I was very fortunate that I was sent as a government observer from the government of India, a Ministry of Sports. I was there for about 10 days in the second half. And I was very lucky and fortunate that these two ladies who brought medal for us in the Rio Olympic, PV Sindhu and Satsi Malik. I was there the day they were being yeah, given the medals. PV Sindhu, of course, we expected a lot. We thought that she will get a gold medal. But however, I have seen her the matches uh, from the semi-final onwards. She played brilliantly, and but however, the Carolina from Spain was she was brilliant, and she could not, I think, defeat her. Though she first match was won by her, but the other subsequent matches she lost it, and she was satisfied with the silver medal. And thereafter, in Sakshi Malik, on that particular day, when she was playing for the bronze medal playout matches, I think probably hardly about 10 to 15 Indians were present on that particular in that stadium. It was me and one of my colleagues from the Sports Authority of India, and also about 10 people from the Haryana, headed by the Haryana Honorable Minister. They were all we are there. And believe it or not, last few seconds, because of the fraction of the few second, she pinned down the Japanese, I think, athletes, and she obtained the gold medal. And that was, I think, one of my memorable day that physically I was there in the stadium when Indian flags also were raised while during the ceremony of the medal ceremony. Then these are what I think 28 medals. Then coming to the Northeast, as you all know, people might have forgotten, it was the, I think probably 1948, the London Olympics, which was happened. London so far has conducted uh, thrice Olympic. This was the 1948, the London. In the London Olympic, Talimira now, as you all know, Dr. Talimira now, undivided Assam, happened to be from the Mokokshan, Nagaland. He represented the country and they lead the football team to the London Olympic 1948. And during that period, the football was also played barefoot. The one of the, I think probably some countries athlete were asking him while he was taken part in the 1948 London Olympic. He said, "Why do you play barefoot?" Some countries, I think, footballer were asking him, or the press people were asking him, "Why you are playing with the barefoot? Why don't you have the shoes?" He said, "What I am playing?" They say, "You are playing football. Foot means what? Means foot. That is why we play with the foot only, with the bare foot." That was his reply. He's a legendary. As a profession, he was the doctor, MBBS, qualified doctor. He retired as, I think, director of the medical department, government of Nagaland. And he was graduated from the uh, Calcutta. And in his name, Northeastern states do conduct the Dr. T. R. Memorial Football Tournament. I'm also associated with this particular tournament. Earlier, it was conducted by the government of India through Sports Authority of India, and thereafter it was given to the all the states to conduct these games through their football associations. And last 2 years, we have requested the Northeastern Council to allot this fund to us because we have one committee who is that committee is looking after the foundation and also the 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 name of the Dr. Tillman House behalf. So we are conducting this tournament, but because of the COVID last 2 years, we are unable to conduct. So he's the first, I think, Olympians from Northeastern region. We are proud to see him. I personally met also while I was sometimes back in the year of 1981 when I was leading a football team in my own locality, that is in the Kardial Landifu, where we have a tournament. He was the chief guest for inauguration of the particular tournament. I still remember. He's a tall figure. He's a very strong. I'm sure. I think probably Talimida now today we are losing him. In his memory, there are many stadiums coming up in the northeastern region as well. And thereafter, it was followed by P. Nalkamal Singh, the field hockey goalkeeper from Manipur in 1984 Los Angeles Olympics. He's a very outstanding goalkeeper ever produced by the Indian hockey, and he was under the bar for many years, looking after the last defense of the Indian hockey team. And I was fortunate that we worked together when I was directly in charge of the Northeast Regional Center, Sports Authority of India's regional center situated in Takil. He was also was appointed as the coach to look after the side team. He was very generous and he's a very intelligent coach. I'm sure. I think probably his presence in the field of hockey for the Northeastern state, especially in the field of coaching, is really worth mentioning. So today, he is the second, I think, the Olympian that ever produced from the Northeastern region. And thereafter, his colleague Thoiba Singh, everyone knows Thoiba Singh. He worked in Food Corporation of India as officers. I met him many times. He also leads the, I think, probably hockey associations. Sometimes back in Seoul Olympic 1988, he took part as a member of the Indian hockey team. Uh, he's also outstanding athlete who had taken part and represented the country for many years. Then, for the first time, apart from the hockey team I am talking about, only in Bratislava 1992, two of the athletes, individual athlete in other game, apart from the hockey and football, which was a team game, individual game, took part. And these two gentlemen, Lalram Sangha from archery in from Mizoram, and Dipankar Bhattacharjee, who was also a national champion during his high time in badminton from Assam. These two gentlemen had taken part in two consecutive Olympics, by the way, in Barcelona 1992 and thereafter in Atlanta 1996. These two guys had made us proud by becoming the first two Northeasterners taken part twice in the consecutive Olympics in 1992 and 1996. Then, as you all know, in Sydney Olympic 2000, it happened in Sydney. There, three of them from 2000 Olympic, uh, Tinko Singh, as you all know, who was also a gold medalist in Asian Games, happened in Bangkok. He is no more in this world. He was one of the outstanding, I think, boxers that were produced from northeastern region. Apart from the Joram Thanga, who was the first World Cup medalist from not only from Northeast, but also Joram Thanga was also the first, I think, boxer from India obtained in the World Cup championship. It was happened sometimes back in the year of 1990 in Mumbai. So Chidinko Singh is no more, but however, as you all know, Brajeshwari Devi judo. I'm sure I think these two athletes, the Brajeshwari Devi and Dinko Singh, both together. The Brajeshwari Devi also I met her, but she is also I think probably hail from Manipur, and I think she is also not there anymore in this world. The Sanamasa Shanu weightlifting, these three Northeasterners had made us proud. Then again in the Athens 2004, the Kunjarani Devi, the today's the guest of honor, she had many medals in World Championship. But however, that single medal from the Olympic, it was eluded from her. But she was uh, very outstanding in during her time, and she is the only, I think, probably athlete won many medals in the World Championships. The Torindip Rai, another archer from Sikkim, uh, Torindip Rai is also taking part in this Tokyo Olympic 2001 happening after 11 days. He is in the man recurve archery team as member. He also represented uh, Torindip Rai, also represented, I think, once in the London Olympic in 2012 also as well. Then Bombela Devi, as you all know, another archer, she had also represented the country twice because 2008 and 2012 also I think probably she had represented along with the Chukrabalu Suru from another Nagaland athletes from Nagaland, second Olympian from the Chukrabalu Suru in the form from the Nagaland. So as you all know that Tombi Devi also had taken part in judo in Beijing Olympic 2008. The London Olympic is the only, I think, Olympics so far. The contribution from the northeastern region is huge. 10 athletes in that particular world have taken part in the London Olympics. As I said, Mary Kom in the boxing, they're the first, I think, probably she baked medal also, the bronze in the same Olympics. Torindit Brai, Bombilla Devi, and archery too. Chakrabarti Suru, Jayanto. There are four archers, in fact, because Jayanto Talkura happened to be from Assam. He also had baked medal in the Asian Games. And Devendra Singh, another boxer, and Sibot Thapa. Sibot Thapa, as you all know, Sibot Thapa among the boxers, Sibot Thapa is the only boxer from the northeastern region that consecutive in two Olympics he had taken part. In London Olympics, thereafter in Rio Olympic also the Sibot Thapa had taken part. Sibot Thapa, when he represented the country in the London Olympics, he was the youngest, I think, probably athletes from India who had taken part in that particular year. And Sonia Sanu, as she had taken part in weightlifting. And Sundarbdev Burman, as you all know, Sundarbdev Burman, um, he also obtained medal in Commonwealth Games and also I think probably in Asian Games. Sundarbdev Burman is from happened to be from Tripura. He lives in US. Then Kothajit Singh, another hockey player, because we have produced many hockey players. Kothajit Singh is also one of them. Now, the Rio Olympics comes, there the representation again has gone down because there, as I said, the Bombilla Devi, the second time Olympians in the archery team. Sibot Thapa, again, I said earlier also, he had represented, not here also. Singlensana Singh, hockey again, and Sushila Sanu, hockey. Sushila Sanu was also, I think, the hockey captain for quite a number of time. I think she had represented the country in Commonwealth Games also, and he was as a captain. So, see, Sushila Sanu also happened to be in that team. Saikham Mirabai Sanu, the sensational the weightlifter, the world gold medalist, world record holder in one or two events, and we're expecting that this Mirabai Sanu is going to get us proud by becoming a second, I think, athlete from northeastern region to obtain the medal. Whereas we are optimistic. I'm sure. I think Mirabai is going to bring us medal for this time in the Olympics. He is going to take part in that. The Deepa Karmakar, the sensational the gymnast from Tripura, she took part in Rio, and just for a fraction of points, I think probably she has been debarred from getting a bronze medal. She stood fourth, as you all know, all the three athletes that particular year in the Rio Olympics, Sindhu, Sakshi Malik, and Deepa Karmakar. These three athletes have made us proud. She stood fourth though, and I think she is one of the great athletes ever produced from the Tripura. And now coming to the London Olympics. This is what, sorry, Tokyo Olympics. As I said, Tokyo Olympics, there is a Mirabai, Susila, also there. Susila, there are Susila Shanu in hockey, Susila is in judo. Then Nilkanta Sharma, another hockey player who is going to represent us, Northeast as an Indian team player. And second Olympian from the Mizoram, the Lalram Shyam. Lalram Shyampi, as you all know, she is the specialist in the drag flicker. She is the one of the upcoming hockey player from India, from Northeast. She is definitely going to make us proud. This is what I think probably the athletes from the Northeast in the Olympic history in India. If you take into percentage wise, total percentage wise, the India had sent in those Olympics. If you say the percentage wise, the London Olympics 1948 is 1.2%, and 84 12.50. I think this is the biggest. I think probably the in the that Olympic, probably India could not go much. Indian countries was a little smaller. 1988 2.404, 1996 6.12, 2000 Olympic 4.62, 2004 to 2.74%, 2008 2.99, 2012 12.05, and 2016 5.98, and 2020 6.78. These are the percent of the participants from the northeastern region in the Olympic in terms of the country taken part in the various Olympics. So, what I would like to say is that if I'm permitted, I think probably I like to share another slide, if possible, where I think probably I can little elaborately can say that how to contribute more to the Indian Olympics. That is what my actually, if I could say, if I could share it this slide, see the contribution to make a contribution or to produce the excellence athletes from the northeastern region. We need to take some steps. I think probably today, as you say, that the population as a whole, India is 1.35 billion. Out of that, about 3.75% population are from the northeast. As a whole, we are about 4.5 crore, little over 4.5 crore population in the 8 states of the northeastern. And the biggest population is Assam at 3. Roughly about 3.3 crore, and second biggest population happened to be I think Tripura, where I think 36 something, and the third, if I could, I think probably the Imphal is the about 27 lakhs, and the least population is in the Sikkim about 6 lakhs. So if you take into population of wise, this about the 4% of the total population of the Indian population. But we have a very strong, I think, probably athletes. The talent-wise, the talents are available in the throughout the 8 states of the northeastern. Maybe because of the various factors, could be a geographical factor, could be a gene factor, could be because we come from, most of them are from the Mongolid, the heredity, everything depends on the environment that we live. I think probably there are abundance of talents available with the treasure of talents in the whole human resources, as you say, all over in the northeastern region. So how to do it? My point is that sports for all. The earlier speakers, were saying, I think Mr. General Secretary of Dr. Jain might have touched upon that we should, I think, probably create a sports culture. So how to create this sports culture? That is also a big question. So what exactly happening in the sports for all? As said, Kamala Sir also has said that Olympism also has said that global action, global points are that sports for all. Yes, the sports still is not in the concurrent list of the government of India. Can you believe it? During the time of the Congress government, they have tried to bring it into the concurrent list of the this subject into concurrent. However, because of some administrative problem or because of the various organization like Federation or the Olympic Association, they were not in favor of that the sports should be in the concurrent list of the because they still wants that it should be state subjects, because they were thinking that if it is comes in the concurrent list, probably their autonomy power may go. But however, because of the all this political situation, still the sports is still the state subject, not in the concurrent list. That is the reason I think probably biggest problem hurdle we have now at the moment, that the funding pattern also has not come through, because still the sports is not taken as a priority department or the priority area. That's the reason I think probably we are lagging behind. So how to create? Because it is only the few states where I think the cultural sports still you can see. From northeastern region, the number one, not only I'm talking about in the whole in the northeast, but the whole country, I think probably Manipur is the only state, I think probably, where you can see every event happening, it is through sports. Any festival happens, it's sports. Because I was working there as a regional director in charge for about 1.5 years. So I have seen it that every people, each and every people in blood, there is a sporting culture. And that is the reason I think probably whether it is the indigenous sports, whether it is the modern sports, no matter what sports you play, how you play, they play for joy, they play for fun, and they play for health. This is the, I think, probably sports culture that I have seen it in the entire Imphal, where they have only population of 27 lakhs. And believe it or not, they don't have any industries. They do not have any other opportunity for working or getting absorbed in the government services. However, they knew it. Sports is the only, I think area where I think government of India, private sector, public sector, anywhere, if you are a outstanding sports person, you'll be recruited soon without any hassle. That is what I think probably every citizen and every athletes, every young generation there in the Impol knows, and that is why I think probably they have taken up this sports as a challenging career, and many of them have been deployed and also taken as a player, taken as a profession. You know the IPL, you know Indian League, ISL. These are the, I think, the few avenues, especially the footballer, where I think maximum number of footballer have been absorbed, and that is the reason I am saying that, because you have a sports culture. When everybody plays the sports, then automatically your talent pool is much bigger. I think probably, as you all know, creating a culture through organizing workshop seminar like today we have, every people need to be educated that why people need to play the sports or some kind of a sports activity. They should do it rather than ideally sitting at home, creating yourself in the physically unfit. Because in this Corona COVID-19 situation, prevailing situation of that, I think probably fitness is the supreme now. I think people are now realizing that the to keep yourself fit, at least daily activity is a must. Now only people are realizing this is the high time. I think in the COVID situation, I think probably we should organize more and more number of workshops, and also we should also encourage the community and the public to play some kind of sports. And especially, I'm talking about the club activities. Now, club culture is no more seen, except as I said, still it exists in the Manipur. But I'm very serious enough, and also I have gone through the other part of the northeastern states where you don't see much of the clubs, because club usually earlier only the few people they associate themselves and they create a club for fun and so and so forth. But however, because of the economy, because of the financial problem these days, now people are no more confined to the club level. Even if you have a club, football clubs, I'm sure, I think the professionalism has come in the sports. That is why now if you don't pay, then no player comes, and that is the reason why I think most of the clubs are now dying. I do not know, except in few clubs where the promoters or the club owner having a handsome of money, they are still sustaining and also they are still maintaining their club. Otherwise, it is very difficult to maintain a club because of this professionalism. Because without the money, people not go and join in the clubs. But however, in the community, I think small, I think probably clubs that we can create it, community games we can, sports we can start it. This way, I think probably we can develop a club culture. And the indigenous games, especially, there are many indigenous games, probably more than 100 in the northwestern region. Of course, Manipur is known as Thangta, and Thangta is one of the sports I think which has gone globally. It is not confined to only Manipur. It has gone beyond Manipur, beyond the country. They have a Thangta International Association Federation. They have a national federation, and there I think probably having about 25 to 36, I think probably units been affiliated to Thangta, because I happened to be there while Thangta National was held, and it was very prominent, and it is one of the game I think from Thangta the Wushu player can come, boxing player can come, any other, and also could be a fencer may come. So in the modern game I am talking about. Uh, Mukhna also is there, a kind of a wrestling, I think, I suppose. There are many other games in the Northeastern, I think, probably where I think probably we can inculcate. The government of India also funding the indigenous games, this thing under the Khelo India program. As you all know, the Khelo India program is a national level program. Khelo India, there are 12 verticals. Out of the 12 verticals, only I think probably prominently you have seen only one vertical, that is the annual sports. Annual sports is a competition where the first the Khelo India National School Games was held in the 2018, as you all know. It was held in Delhi in January 2018, and thereafter in the next game it was known as the Khelo India Youth Games, which is consist of two age level. Earlier on the Khelo India school level was only under 17, and thereafter under 21 also is included, and thereafter it was named as the Khelo India Youth Games. It was happened in Pune for the first time out of the Delhi, and it was fully funded by the government of India, and also the state government also sharing it. So that was conducted multi-event where I think about 20 events was conducted. The third event was conducted here in Guwahati. It was conducted in the 2020. And 2020, as you all know, it was happened about 20 to 20, 24 disciplines. It was also one of the great grand success. And subsequently thereafter, for the first time, to inculcate the activities, the sports activities, encourage the athletes to take up in the little higher. The Khelo India University Games was also conducted for the first time in Odisha, as you all know. So if you go through the globally, most of the Olympians come from the university. But sorry to say that the our university level player you will find hardly, because the elite level of the athletes and the athletes that play the country today in the Olympic or many other international tournament, you'll find only the athletes who had not gone for a higher education in university. There may be a 10 plus 2 at the most, or maybe a 10 class, or maybe a not even a 10 class. These are the athletes because they are not interested in the university level. These are the athletes who took part in the Olympics. And as I said, once you make a culture for sports, I'm sure I think probably then I think probably sports for all. Then only I think that the byproduct would be the medals in the form of medals. First, we should not think of a medal in the Olympics, not even joining in the Olympics, but we should think about what? Think about having a cultural sport in the whole country when every individual out of the 1.35 billion people, at least the half the population, if they play in the games in some kind of the activity, I'm sure I think probably that byproduct, the talents available among these, once you play, I think the byproduct would be coming as a form of medals. So once your culture, the sports culture is happening, I think your physically you will be fit, and fit as the notion, as you all know, that fit people, fit nation. If you are fit, your nation also will be fit from all other sphere of life. Sports, development of physical education and sports in the school. As you all know, the new curriculum program has, I think, introduced this physical education and sports in the compulsory. We have been trying for the last, I think, probably, I do not know how many years, maybe more than a 50 years, that the physical education and sports should be made compulsory in the school. But physical education teachers and the physical instructor or the physical education, the trainer who are employed in the schools, it is always neglected. I have seen of my 30, 40 years of association with the sports as an administrator, as a trainer, as a school teacher. I have seen it. People are not giving much importance. They say, "Oh, he is a PT teacher." That's all. That is the impression today. But we have to create our own impression. Now it is a high time that I think probably we should be a total professionals. Our profession are really strong. Today I'm still fit. I have 60 crossed just recently, but I still play 60 minutes of football. I still 5 kilometer is nothing to me. 10 kilometer at least I can run. And while I was there in Impal, sometimes back in the year of 2014 and 15, I have took part in the half marathon. I have completed about 22 kilometers. Whereas my coaches unable to run with me, I was running with my students. That was my intention. How I keep myself. I think because if I would not have gone through this physical education course in the LNIP, if I have not gone to the Victoria University in Melbourne, where I have seen many legends, many facilities. Probably I would not have, I think, spoken to you today in front of all of you, because first of all, I learned all my livelihood or my day-to-day life, how being a fit citizen. First, I love the game. I love the people, and I have learned many things. The That's what I'm saying. I think the physical education is one of the education. I think probably people should know it, and we are the people. I think probably it is our high time that we must. I think do our best to educate the people as a whole in the country. As I said, club, academy, sports training center. These are the three. I think probably broad basing competition in sports training, sporting and nurturing of the sports talent. These are the once you have a broad base, when the pyramids, what the base is big, and the pyramid, if you wanted to make a pyramid, the top level, the excellence level, I think the base we should have masses. I think probably you can create abundance of talent pool. Today, if you go to the website, see the statistics, I think probably about 40 millions talent pool the China is having. How much talent pool we have? Can you believe it? Roughly, if we can say game wise, there are 18 sports where India is going to take part. To 120 athletes across 18 sports disciplines, India is going to take part in this Olympic. And if I say that out of these 18 sports, now the government of India is planning for 2024, 28, and beyond. What is our talent pool? You all know that we have a top scheme. Target Target Olympic podium. Target Olympic podium. Top. This scheme has been launched, I think, 5 years back. This scheme initially when started, we are giving them all the facilities, including the money, stipends. In the tops, we are covering only about 160 for 24 and 28 Olympics. Can you believe it? This is the talent pool we have, where we are expecting a medal, many medals, two figure of medal, or best 10 in the medal tally, best 10 countries in the medal tally by 2028. If we have a small talent pool, I'm sure I think probably that dream will never come true. And also we have about 23 National Sports Center, SAI National Center of Excellence, 23, and roughly about 50 to 60 SAI Training Center. Taking into account of this, we have about 10,000 athletes. That is the talent pool we have. And the core group, we have only about 400 plus athletes core, where exactly we are pinpointing, are taking the daily information regarding about their progressness, and they're keeping in the confined together in one place and many other places for the day-to-day training program. So if you are not having enough talent pool, I'm from the quantity comes the quality. If your quantity itself is a very small, I'm afraid that the dream that we have, uh, the goal that we have set, that top 10 in the medal tally should come by 2028 Olympics, that will never, I suppose, will never come into reality. That is the reason I think probably now we must, I think, probably create the broad base. And we should encourage the 5 to 14 years of children to join in any other program. As I said, the indigenous games and martial arts institution, these are the, I think, probably also area where I think probably the talents are also hidden. Uh, as I said, to come into the excellence level, once you picked up these talents, where are you going to keep them? You need to have some sort of a the system. Somebody was saying, the Braille was saying, the president of the physical education of Northeast Physical Foundation from the Northeastern chapter, Mr. Burrell, Dr. Burrell has said that system, we should have to create the systems. Yes, most of the athletes who brought laurel for all of us, excepting one or two, nobody have come through this system. Neither Avinav Binda, who had won medal for us in Beijing Olympic gold for the first time in individual event, he is having his own range, own facilities at our own house because he is from a big shop because he have plenty of money. His father is having money. So his father is completely sponsoring. He is not even bothered about the money being provided from the government of India. So he never come on the system. He is having his own coaches. Yes, we do have few athletes who have come from the system, but the system was not perfect. Like Mary Kom has come from the system. She was playing earlier the athletic. Then she had joined in boxing through special area game center, through state academy. That way, she had been touched upon some system, but the system was not very strong during her career. But her Jill, her own efforts, her husband efforts, her family efforts, today they brought a lot for us. Not only I'm talking about that, other athletes who had represented the country from the northeastern region, most of them have not come through the system. That system need to be created. Now, today in the under Khelo India scheme, we have a system. I do not know how far this system will go down beyond, because government have a, as I said, for the to create a sports culture, the government of India Khelo India schemes planning to have 1,000 number of district Hello India Center in every district of the whole country. If it really comes, and which is going to be meant by or the maintained by or the coached by the past and prominent athletes who are unemployed in the whole country. If that happens, it's really nice for all of us. And thereafter, every state, they are going to have the center of excellence, state level excellence center, taking care of three sports discipline. And there is, they have one sports, one state. The policy also has taken by the government of India, and it is already been notified to all these states. And state can also add up another two, the three sports in one center of excellence, the state level Fellow India Center, where government of India is uh, going to offer a fund on the gaps where you need the support staff, where you require as head coaches, where you require equipment. These are the things I think probably would be provided from the Khelo India. And these are centers are coming up now. Uh, we have to see how many really these centers are going to give us the excellence output. Um, as I said, South the clubs and academies. for spotting the talent between so and so, so and so. These are the places from where I think probably sports we need to spot the talents. Excellent in sports STEM elite level, as I said. In fact, it was prepared for some other this thing. University Sports of Excellence, Sports Federation Excellence. There are many excellence centers we can create. What exactly step need to be taken? As you know, the sports for development for the sports. What basically you require? You require infrastructure first. Then you require equipment. Then you have the quality coaches and trainer. Then scientific backup, competition exposure, and uh, uh, this other point is the uh, talent, willing or desire to play. Then some of the qualities that I'll come one after another. When I say infrastructure, what's infrastructure you require? Basically, for competition, you need the big, where I think capacity of the sitting is more, bigger. Stadium ground, but we don't require. For the development, we require a stadium, a minimum facilities, FOP, field of play, as per the standard of the national federations, as per the games that we require. These are the things I think probably we require. We require a gymnasium, we require a swimming pool for cooling down or some other things, changing room, hostel for training. These are the things I think the infrastructure we require. When I say the stadium, these are the for competition. Where this was the Olympic, I think probably Sydney Olympic. You can see this is the our own Jawaharlal Nehru Stadium for competition. These are some of the stadium I'm showing it. This is the Athens one. What do you require? We require a small, yeah, where I think probably hardly about 200 to 300 people sitting capacity, where you can have a small tournament. But the FOP that creates, supposing a athletic track, we need the approved, I think probably the surfaces that require and the standard. That is what we require. We require this sort of a small stadium. Like this is the Sports Authority of India's training center here in Guwahati. This is the Kukrazar. These are the things. I think some of the facilities that I'm showing it. We need a gym. These are the for training. A small pool, maybe a tennis court. These are the things. Then comes the quality equipments. The equipments is one part where I think probably is also very costly, and also the equipment that has been approved by the various international federations or the national federation. It is substandard equipment should not be provided, as because if you practice with the substandard equipment, it will, I think probably your performance may go down. So the equipment that is being used for that particular event and the particular competition, that the same quality of the equipment need to be provided. Here we have seen one example. I can give you the archery. Archery is in fact it's been played the archery. I'm talking about the recurve. The recurve equipment. It is the fiber equipment. It is that equipment is not available in India. But however, parallelly, you have seen it, our own indigenous, the bow and arrow made of the wood and bamboo. If you practice with the bow and bamboo, you start with this. By the time you are in a high and you obtain the other equipment, the sophisticated and the modern equipment, it will take time to adjust with that particular equipment for many years. That way, you will be wasting your time. That is why in the initial itself, I think probably the equipment need to be provided where exactly what the as per the requirement of that particular event. I think probably we would have, I think, got more medal in Olympic by this time. I think probably we should have obtained the medal in archery had you started the game itself with the modern equipment. But Manipur is one of the states. Assam is one of the states. Mizoram, Nagaland, in that matter, we have a prospect for the archery, and I'm sure. I think probably if this is being taken care of, I'm sure. I think probably we can end up getting medal in Olympics. The quality equipment is one of the most essential. And as you know, these are the bows and also the mask. We can also inculcate. Rackets are very costly. The Olympic there are only two three brands that are approved by the International Weightlifting Federation. You all know the weightlifters know if you don't supply these equipments to our athletes, young athletes, or talents, I'm sure I think probably we end up not getting a medal. And as I said, the quality trainer. The as you all know that the wherever possible, not possible, it's a must. It is not that substandard trainer train at the beginning. I'm sure I think the quality trainer at the beginning itself will be requiring because the sports activities are such that there are many skills, many things associated. If those positions or those skills are not taught by the qualified and also a quality coach or the trainer at the beginning, he or she may develop wrong techniques, and this will affect in the future performance. Therefore, at the beginning itself, will be requiring a quality trainer. Today, uh, I do not know. One can become a national coach after 10 months of training in maybe university or maybe in sci training institutes, but the quality and the experience is one of the most essential. Through experience that you can develop your quality. Through experience in the sense you have to tackle the talents certain level in certain years at certain periods, and thereafter you can graduate yourself. And also, the trainer should be well equipped with the latest happening in the world. This thing training field. What all is happening? What all the new training method have been deployed by the or employed by the different coaches of the whole globe. These are the thing I think probably in one stroke in the browsing half an hour. If you sit in the website, I think probably you can find today. So quality trainer is a must. Then scientific backup. Everyone said that without the scientific backup, it is impossible to obtain the medal today in the highest level of tournament. It has been the still the sports science is in the infant stage in our own country. Yes, we do have labs in the universities. Even we have in Gwalior, we have in Trivandrum, we have in many other institute. We have, but the thing is that the coaches is working alone. Sports scientists are working alone. They are not joining together. They are not sitting together. That's the problem because we have a ego problem. That ego need to be, I think, probably keep aside. Joining together with the all the team as a team, I think work. I think I'm sure. I think probably we can end up producing a lot many number of excellent athletes in the whole country. This is the very infant stage. The Sports Authority of India has also recruited many support staff these days. I'm sure, I think probably the graduate from the physical education background and also the studying in the various university, they should, I think, get up taking a specialized course so that they can come as a scientist in exercise physiology, sports psychology, sports sociology, sports nutrition, which is also one of the very important. And last but not the least, that the sports medicine is also one of the area I think which is need to be I think given and due importance. As you all know, the doping is one of the problem in the today's in the modern day of world of sports. WADA is controlling it. NADA is controlling in the states, in the country. But however, in terms of Olympic Committee, the biggest headache is to how to eradicate this doping problem in the whole sports community among in the whole globe. That's the problem. I think Kamlesh sir has touched upon a little bit. I'm sure. I think probably this is the big issue. I think probably we need to educate at the earliest while you were training at the grassroots level We need to educate the ill effect or the side effect of the doping, why dope should not be taken, and what is the harm. These are the things I think probably we need to educate our athletes with a small gain, because these days government has given a lot of incentive. Even if you're champion in nationals, if people are getting a promotion or rewards, to obtain that reward or particular award, our athletes are end up taking dopes. That is also one of the problem. And also there are some coaches also getting to, in order to get this incentive, some coaches also is encouraging it. These are the things I think probably we need to educate ourselves, and I'm sure I think the physical education is, we I think probably need to take a the key role for educating the our coming on athletes, organizer, trainer, everybody need to be educated regarding about this issue. This issue is one of the, I think, biggest headache in our own country now at the moment. As you all know, because of this, I think the wrestler also is banned. Weightlifter also was suspended for many years. It was only during the before the Commonwealth Games, I think probably lot of hefty of the fine has to be given to, I think, recognize our own federation. There are some examples. Competition exposure. Competition or exposure at block level, district level, state level, national level. These are the thing I think while training, these are also is I think prerequisite for the development of the talents. Last but is also one of the points I am talking about, the talent willing and desire to play. There are many talents. Some talents we have to motivate them. If you cannot motivate the children to a particular sports, I think how uh, uh, how uh, uh, your method of teaching is sound doesn't matter. But however, if the athletes is not willing or not desire to learn, I'm sure I think probably you cannot make him a champion, because it needs the awareness of the particular individual to take up that and to love that sports. Then only I think probably the best of the best will come out from him or her. And last, quality design. These are the 3D that comes into mind always. I've gone through this 3D: dedication, determination, and discipline. If you are not having this 3D with an athlete, not even an athlete, as a human being also, as a citizen also, I think you can able to achieve anything in the whole life. Dedication is one of that. Determination is that one, and discipline. I can give you one example. Determination. I think few days back I had one of the somebody was given in the social platform, and virtually it comes that Brad Hodge, when he uh, first played against the India, he started his career. He's a spinner, as you all know. He took a Tendulkar's wicket. Tendulkar was bowled out, and when game was over, the Brazos went to Tendulkar and asking him to sign on that particular ball by which the Brazos, the Australian the cricketer, had bowled Tendulkar out. Tendulkar has politely taken the ball and had written that this situation will never come to you next. Mean it will never happen again. That means he is so determined that thereafter he had never given his wicket to Rogers. That is the determination he had. So these are there are many examples. The great athletes, they have a determination. Discipline, as you know, you have to be very disciplined. If you are always in the social media or always in the mobile, I'm sure I think, and if you don't obey the suggestion of the coaches, you don't don't uh, don't follow the disciplines of the game of the rule, or maybe in that matter, in your day-to-day life discipline, you have to have very disciplined in your day-to-day living affairs. These are the thing I think probably without this, I think probably no mankind can ever achieve the best in his own life or her life. This is what I have come into across in my mind. And today we are proud that 200 and 120 athletes are going to take part in 18 sports. There are 33 sports, 50 sports discipline, and 339 events are happening in Tokyo. I'm sure, I think probably we're expecting a lot from our Indian athletes, especially, particularly in 2, 3 sports where I think probably we can do wonder. And especially from the northeastern region, we're expecting from boxers and also from weightlifter. As you all know, two boxes is going. Medicom and Lavlina from Assam. Lavlina Barbuhan, she is representing the Assam, and as you know, in Medicom, these are the two I think at least we are expecting, and also Birabai. These three ladies. I'm sure I think probably they can they can expect we can expect a medal from them. And as a whole, I think probably India can expect a medal in archery, where I think Deepika Kumari and his husband Otonu Das, these are the two, the first I think pretty couple in the whole world. I think probably that recently they have taken the world stage three gold medal, and they are the rank number one. Now I am sure I think probably these two can I think probably may bring medal for us. And individual event also Otonu Das and Deepika Kumar is going to take part in the recurve event. And as usual, I think shooting also we are expecting it. Shooter, of course, they have never let us down. Whether it is Asian Games, whether it is Commonwealth Games, I'm sure. I think this time also, I think they can bring a medal. Of course, the last Olympic was a setback for all of us. I'm sure. I think they can repeat the London Olympic where we got the sixth medal, and this time we're expecting them more than that medals. And also the wrestlers also in the peak form. Wrestlers, we're expecting a medal in the wrestling also as well. And there are yes, Sindhu, the last Olympic champion is not there. She is the I think the hot favorite, and if a draw comes good, I'm sure I think probably second also. I think give us a podium finish. Last but the least, with this I think few words I'd like to conclude my presentation.